All right, guys, what's up? So today I'm going to be interviewing Dylan Owens, YouTuber, Doordash, flipper, 19 years old, buying real estate. He's done, almost every side hustle or way to make money that there is to be conceivable. I think drop shipping a little bit or try to do that. I mean, like everything. So, at 19 years old, he's just, a couple years younger than me, very similar, I think, in how he, came up through high school and college dropout. And I want to interview him today so you can see his story, how he got here and what he's trying to do. So you can get some value, kind of see what he's doing, and then maybe relate to him and see how he did his life, so we can go from there. So, all right, Dylan, so what was when did you really start wanting to make money, and what kind of things did you do, and when did you do them? When did it start for you?
Yeah, so there wasn't necessarily a point in my time where I was I need to go make money now. It was just kind of always something that I've been doing. It's just been on my mind. I don't really know, because I've always had enjoyed having a little extra money in my pocket and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. It's just been one of those things that I guess was always on my in the back of my head. So, but yeah, no, man, I started in high school. Was when I really took off. I did shoveled snow and stuff and stuff like that when I was younger. But then in high school, I played sports. So the best fit for me was doing Doordash and those gig economy apps. So I did that, and that was great because it's flexible and stuff like that. I could work around sports, and then so that gave me a little bit of money in my pocket. And so I went from there. I did some flipping stuff on Facebook, and I started actually with PCs, gaming.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
So gaming PCs, which is probably not the best thing to flip because they drop in value, but I like them because they're really fast and you could sell one really quickly. I bought laptops and PCs the same day and then sold the same day. So
right, so real fast money.
Yeah, so flipping was definitely pretty sweet side hustle, especially when you hit on some big stuff like that. And then obviously, I did do a little bit of drop shipping. Drop shipping, I wasn't as successful at as I wanted to be. I just probably didn't put enough time into that, but I've tried. Yeah, like he said, I've tried pretty much everything in the book.
Stock trading.
Yeah, I did a lot of investing in stocks and played a little bit with options. I think my wins outweighed my losses there just a tad.
Yeah.
But yeah, options are a little risky.
So the real deal, how did you go from, you tried these things in high school, these little side hustle things around your sports. Obviously, that's the primary focus. Mm-hmm. What did you, as you got, you graduated and stuff, what was the thought process there? Were you going to go to college?
What
was your plan?
I went to college and I played baseball at, a local, it was a Division II school, and I enjoyed every bit of that. But the only reason I went to school was to play baseball. I probably wouldn't have gone if I didn't have that opportunity. Because just for me personally, there's multiple, I can make a whole video about my opinion on college, and I probably will.
Sure.
But decided that it wasn't the best fit for me, dropped out. Didn't really have a ton, a huge plan. I knew I had a lot of financial goals that I wanted to achieve, included, buying my own place.
Right.
That was kind of the big one. And then I wanted to, I start my own business, which I got a little bit of that with the SMMA, but you can only do so much.
Your SMMA as well.
Yeah, and I actually just got a buddy to help me out on that, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Cool. So when, so you went to college, I guess in 2020, right? 2019 to 2020.
It would have been 2020, 2021.
Okay, 2020. Okay, to fall 2021. Yeah. All right. And then, you're doing that. I think you were trading some stocks.
Yeah. So pretty much everything I made from those flips and side hustles like Doordash and stuff, I pretty much saved it all and put it back into the stock market. And then obviously when 2020, the crash in the market, I bought as all I could because
did you buy in the dip, or did you kind of?
Well, I did buy a lot of it at the dip. I got pretty lucky on that, but also it consistently invested too on its way up and on its way down. I rode it pretty hard. There was a little bit. It was a little scary, but
sure thing.
But yeah.
Yeah, I did a little bit of investing at that time too. That was an interesting time.
Yeah, it was very interesting.
Yes. So after that, what did you do after that? What was the thought there? You're in the summer, you're not.
So summer, I was working towards going towards college. I worked actually at a summer job at a baseball park. It was pretty sweet, right up my alley. Didn't make as much money as I obviously would like to, but I didn't have a whole lot of qualifications either. So,
right.
I did that, Doordash on the side, pretty much getting ready for school. I did have an Instagram theme page I really missed that. where it was a gaming theme page, like gaming PCs and stuff like that, gaming setups. And I was doing affiliate marketing through that, saying like shout outs. At one point I was making up to $500 a month just doing that.
Wow.
So yeah, and then I think I almost cracked 100,000 on that account, but
100,000 followers. Yeah. So yeah, I did a lot of stuff. So I know you got into the SMMA type of stuff, social media marketing. When did that happen for you? Like what precipitated that move?
Well, just the skills I developed with the game account, the game.
Really?
Yeah. So I took a little bit of those skills, and then obviously I did quite a bit of research. Able to obtain a couple clients from my town that I had already had connections with, just from being in it's a smaller town, and I knew a couple people, so I took advantage of those connections. And then one account led to two account led to three, and I'm up to 4 accounts right now. So that's not too bad. And then I'm doing both management. I focus on management because I'm better at that. Facebook ads and stuff like that, I'm continuously learning on that, but I do a little bit of that as well.
And so, it's this point, it's like right now it's spring 2021, but obviously, like, what are you doing full time right now? Like
right now I work for you, Daniel. I do sales at Bridgecom, which is where Daniel and I work together. I enjoy that a lot because I learn a ton about business, about sales, about marketing, because sales and marketing go kind of hand in hand. Really how a whole business actually works. And like I said, I can make a whole video on how I have my opinion on college and stuff like that, but I know I learned more in my first week working there at Bridgecom than I did my entire time I spent in school. So,
wow. Yeah. That's a pretty big admission.
Yeah, it is. And I mean, I told my brother that, and he because my brother's actually still at school, for some of you guys don't know, but he was like, I bet you did, because he's doing the whole baseball thing, so he's sticking with that.
And so don't you have a YouTube channel that you're doing as well?
Yeah, man. I started that YouTube channel too over a year ago now. I definitely go check out my channel. It's just Dylan Owens. I do a lot. So a lot of things I talk about here in this last 5 or so minutes is what I do in my channel: flipping, Doordash, investing. A lot of it's just been following my life now. I'm trying to just make it more so about updates in my life and what I'm doing, reaching my financial goals, my life goals. Just stuff like that. I don't know. Go check it out if you want.
Absolutely. And so didn't you just, you've made a lot of money, from your job saving, from your investments. What have you just done with that money? Now that you're not really trading stocks as much anymore, what are you doing? So
I'm saving everything right now. Because right now, for some of you guys, I live with my parents, and so I save essentially my entire paycheck.
Sure.
The only thing I'm paying for right now is gas and insurance. And so obviously that's going to change when I move out. But I went ahead and purchased a townhouse that I'm pretty excited about. The plan is to rent out, so it's 3-bedroom. I'll rent out the other 2 rooms, and what's called house hacking, which you cover a ton on your channel. And so I'm gonna do that. And I'll be either living pretty close to free, maybe it's going to depend on how everything rolls out, but with a couple of roommates, I'll be living almost at $0.
That's fantastic. Yeah. No, house hacking is a super powerful way to reduce your cost of living, or perhaps profit on something you're going to have to do anyway.
Yeah. Exactly.
Have a place to live.
Yeah.
It's super great.
Yeah, I'm super excited about that. That's definitely the next big step in my life. Is that townhouse. I have a whole lot of plans for it, but yeah.
So one question I have, obviously you work for me, as a sales guy, right? You're 100% commission. You get paid a draw, but you're making commission on top of that. And I can tell you that he makes well over his draw every month. When you were, because we hired you a few months ago, January this year, right?
Yeah.
It's what, because you're doing all these entrepreneurial things and a lot of self-employed. You obviously have a lot of intrinsic motivation and stuff like that. So what was the thought behind, when you're at this turning point where you're working this job, but you're do I go and double down on my entrepreneurial ventures, or do I go and get a job that's gonna have some more vertical opportunity than just working at the baseball park, right?
Yeah. So my whole thing with looking for a job was I wanted a solid base.
Okay.
I wanted that paycheck that I could consistently count on,
right,
while I do other things. Because you can DoorDash and you can do all that good stuff, but you can't count on that money, because what if, the app goes down for 2 hours a night, or there just isn't any orders, or there's a lot of dashers out. Like, there's a lot of things out of your control there. So I was looking for a base, which is what I found. And then I was actually super blessed to be in a place that has allowed me to learn so much. And that wasn't necessarily what I was looking for, but it's like, that's what I got, and I feel extremely blessed for that. So
absolutely, that's really great to hear.
Yeah.
All right, so Dylan, you've got these things going on. You've got the Doordash, the job, your sales job, house coming down the pipe, like clients at your agency. What's the goals for you next 6 months, year, couple years? What's your plan?
Yeah, man, that's a good question. So I guess short term, obviously I want to stay at Bridgecom as long as you'll have me, Daniel, and continue to learn and gain those skills. I'd really like to pay off my mortgage as fast as possible, and I know that conflicts with investing styles. But that's kind of where I'm at. I'm kind of swaying back and forth a little bit there, but I think that's the way I'm leaning. So that's one of my more so life goals, but I guess in business, I want to grow my SMMA up to the point to where it's mostly hands-off for me, because I'm still doing a lot of the stuff. I mentioned a little bit that I picked up a guy that's going to help me out, which is I'm super excited about, because essentially taking a lot of that weight off my chest and my shoulders, where I can put more time into my YouTube channel and other stuff like that I want to do.
Absolutely.
So I want to make that a little bit more automated and a little more hands-off. As well as grow the revenue on that to a point where I can, start making some serious money, where it's like, hey, you got to take a look at that. But and the other thing is, I'd really like to grow that YouTube channel by just consistently posting and keeping people. So like, I'm on a journey that I think a lot of people aren't on, because I didn't go the high school, college, corporate job. I mean, I have a job, but it's not necessarily like. That's not I'm not going to be there for the next 40 years probably. I have other goals and business ventures that I want to achieve. And so I guess my YouTube channel is going to be me taking that straight path, if that makes sense. So I definitely want to grow that. And then, a couple other things I like when it goes a little bit away from business, I want to travel a bit. And so I'm going to do that. I got some plans in the works for that as well. So.
Okay, so like one final question. So like, in terms of like your money goals, and you may not have like thought super duper hard about it, but like, are you looking for more like, to build like serious wealth, or are you looking more for like, to get enough income and like have the means to have kind of more like a lifestyle type of thing going on, like where it's just kind of paying for what you're doing and you can live a lifestyle, but you're not necessarily like looking to build like, real like generational wealth or something like that. What's the goal there?
So you mean like, I understand what you're saying. For me, obviously I want to be financially free, and that means different things to different people. But when you say like generational wealth and serious wealth, my goal is not to make, billions and billions of dollars. I want to have, cash flowing assets to where I can sustain my life, and I don't necessarily have to go to work and work a 9 to 5 for the rest of my life, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I mean, I think with, put your money in the right places and hard work and just, being consistent about that, that's definitely doable for me.
Absolutely.
And then, like I said, that's build some cash flowing assets like my YouTube channel, like, a potential another like property here and, not necessarily the near future, but the future. And then just kind of go from there.
So guys, one quick, interject into this story, I guess, because obviously, Dylan, he works with me in the business, and, I did hire him, put out the post and everything, and he was one of a few applicants that applied. And, one thing that made me hire him was the fact that he had a YouTube channel. And, when I don't know if he put it in his resume or I looked him up or whatever, but, when I saw that YouTube channel, I looked at some of the videos, and that really, that's what put him over the edge in terms of like me hiring him for the role, because there's a lot of like, that's why one of the reasons I'm building this channel is to get the influence, right? And he's only got like 1,000 subscribers or so, but the fact that I could see that he's very money motivated, doing a lot of stuff, like I could see his values, see what he was trying to do, like that aligned with what I was doing, and because he had put himself out there like that, that then brought him a lot of value in a different way by getting that job, right? And so if you're I'm a huge advocate for like self-promotion and like telling people what you're doing, because it not only, it's not just about the YouTube ad revenue and stuff like that, it's also about opportunities like this where, I mean, to be honest, like, no offense, like when I interviewed, like I wasn't really like, if I was to make the judgment just based off your interview, like it wasn't, super duper stellar. Like I was, but because I could have that background information of like, oh, this guy's doing all this stuff, he's looking at these people, like that was what, how I knew that your real, your heart was really there, and right? The drive was there, like, cause you might have not got that conveyed, but like seeing that the actions speak louder than the words.
Yeah,
if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you saying that, and I know I probably wasn't the most qualified person that applied. I mean,
right?
Would you say?
Yeah, but I mean, but the fact that like you're doing all this stuff on the side, I'm like, this guy is going to be hustling. That's what he's going to be wanting it.
And I feel very, very fortunate to do that because I didn't make my YouTube channel with that kind of insight, and it does take, like what you said, it takes a lot of guts to actually make a video like this, because you're gonna get people that are, they're playing out, they're just gonna make fun of you, they're gonna say you're stupid, they're gonna say all this stuff,
right?
And what does that, I mean, obviously that's a whole nother conversation,
sure,
and a whole nother thing, but to actually have the guts to do something like this says a lot about your character and a lot about your like your security in yourself and how you feel about yourself to actually do this. So,
all right, guys, thanks for watching. Click the subscribe button down below, click the like, and go subscribe to Dylan Owens on YouTube. Great guy. Link in the description. Have a great day.